Today I'm going to be reviewing the book series The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So this is currently a 2-book series, but this year a 3rd and final book will be joining it, and I'm so excited to read it. So The Inheritance Games is a young adult fiction mystery series. So basically it's based around the whole premise that they have to solve a mystery, figure out clues and riddles along the way to understand the overarching problem of that particular book. Okay, so the main character of The Inheritance Games is Avery. So she is a 16-year-old girl who lives with her half-sister Libby after her mum died when Avery was younger. So they don't have that much money, they live in an apartment together, sometimes with Libby's on and off boyfriend Drake. And she goes to the local high school where she doesn't really try that hard. She gets average grades and she does fairly well, but she never puts in super duper amount of effort because she would rather work a shift and get money to help out her and her sister than study for a test that she knows she could do okay in. So then we have the side characters. So the first one is Nash Hawthorne. So he is your typical cowboy. He lives in Texas with the rest of his family. He dresses and acts and speaks like a cowboy, which is quite funny in contrast to how posh the rest of his family is. He has a savior complex, so he's always trying to save people and help them out of tough situations. So often you'll meet a maid or a servant in this series who he has helped bring into the house to help them, earn some money and get them back standing on their own 2 feet. He's really kind and he's the eldest of the 4 Hawthorne brothers. So then next we have Grayson, who is the second eldest of the Hawthorne brothers. He is a very flat kind of person. His personality is not that interesting, not that great. He can have a moderate sense of humor sometimes. He's a very competitive person, and he always acts like he's the eldest and that he knows what's best for everyone at all times, and he has 0 issues about his confidence. He often walks into a room like he owns it and just expects everyone to go along with what he says. So then we have Jamieson, who is the second youngest Hawthorne brother, and he is your typical bad boy kind of guy. He skips out of school. He doesn't really pay that much attention when he's actually doing schoolwork. He always tries to get away from any kind of responsibility or any task that someone gives to him. He dislikes being in the spotlight, and he has quite a good sense of humor when he wants to, but often he's just kind of busy getting in trouble. And then we have Zander, who is the youngest Hawthorne brother and my favorite. He's just the most amazing character. He is so funny, he's really sarcastic, he's always losing his train of thought, and he's focusing on 5 totally different things at the same time and somehow manages to complete all of them and do them to a very high standard. He's often underestimated by the rest of his family and his brothers, and he kind of gets left behind sometimes, but he doesn't really mind that, and he's just really super friendly and bubbly to everyone. Then we have Libby, who is Avery's half-sister. She dresses like kind of alternative, and she wears, skull t-shirts and all this kind of stuff, but at heart she is just really a genuinely kind person, and she's always willing to put others' needs before her own. And finally, we have Max, who is Avery's best friend in the entire world. She is super sarcastic, very fun, and is always there to support Avery whenever she needs it. Her parents are super strict, so when Avery lands in this huge amount of money and she, meets all the Hawthorne brothers, Max lives very much vicariously through Avery and is always interested in whatever Avery's doing, and it's a really great friendship that the 2 of them have. So the plot of The Inheritance Games is we meet Avery and Libby and we see what they're like together, and we see Avery in school, and she gets called into the principal's office because she got 100% on a test that she recently did. And you would think, yeah, that's great, that's really awesome. but actually the test was given by a teacher who no one has ever gotten 100% on his tests before. And the reason Avery did is because instead of what she would usually do is just, putting in the least amount of effort that she can and still doing really well, getting, like 92% and stuff. Instead, she decided to see how far she could go and what she could do if she really tried. So, and obviously because, she usually gets the average score, the principal is shocked and thinks that she has cheated. And this basically sets up the premise for this book and for her character, where instead of saying to him, I'm really sorry, I didn't cheat, she says, fine, I'll retake the test in front of you right now, which just shows that she really doesn't care that much about what people think about her and just wants to do her own thing and prove to people that she can actually do stuff, and she just wanted to get it out of the way, which is very much her character's kind of vibe and atmosphere throughout this entire book series. And then what happens is a couple of days later she gets called back into the principal's office, and it's not because she's in trouble this time, it's because Grayson, one of the Hawthorne brothers, has come to see her. And she walks in and he tells her, much to her shock, that she has been mentioned in his grandfather, Tobias Hawthorne's will. And Tobias Hawthorne is a billionaire, he's very well known, and he has 4 grandsons and a big family, so she travels to his home in Texas for the reading of the will and finds out that almost his entire fortune has been left to her, which is shocking to everyone because she never knew this man in her life, she's never met him, and this sets them off on, all of them off on a path to figure out why this happened and to solve the mystery of why she got his fortune and his grandsons and the rest of his family didn't. So she makes enemies in the family because they think, why did she get this fortune? She doesn't deserve it, she's not his family. They try to sue her, Grayson doesn't trust her, and they often end up arguing, and she eventually starts to befriend the brothers one by one, and they all join together by the end of this book to try and figure out really what happened and what led to this, and maybe does she have a connection to the family? Is she possibly part of it and she just doesn't know? And unfortunately I can't say anything else because, spoilers, and it's a mystery for a reason. I don't want to ruin the ending for you guys, but please, I do encourage you to pick this book up. It's absolutely awesome, and I can assure you that you will absolutely love reading the rest of it. So since this book series is a young adult series, I would say it's a 13 plus for me. There's nothing too bad or gross about it. There's nothing too intense in there. There are a couple of kissing scenes, but it's nothing that you wouldn't read in any other, young adult series. It's pretty mild, nothing intense happens between any of the characters. There is a shooting scene. No one gets harmed badly, no one actually gets shot, so that is not a concern, but just in case you guys would be worried by that scene, or just in case your parents don't want you to read about shooting scenes, I'm just letting you guys know that it is in there. I would definitely give this book series 9 out of 10 stars. It was absolutely amazing. I have read this countless times since I got it for Christmas, and the first night I got it, I stayed up until 1:30 in the morning reading it, much to my mum's disappointment. But it was absolutely amazing, and I was hooked from the very beginning. And the thing that I love about this series is that the books aren't super long. Like, as you can see, they're pretty small books and they've got pretty short chapters, so it's really easy to just, pick it up and just read for 5 minutes if you want to, because you can really get through quite a lot of it in a very short amount of time, and every chapter is really gripping and just really amazing, and I absolutely love this series, so it's a definite high recommend for me. Pick it up. I loved it, and I hope you guys do too. So remember, get geeky and start reading. I'll see you on the next one.